Here we go, a dash of Gozer, pinch of Bryn, a little bit of my friend Falzarin, a spoonful of Shaft. Shake it up, and there you have it. A potion of last time on the Incorrigible party.
Falsey, come here to table.
Okay.
Where my food?
You want me to bring you food?
No. Wait, girl.
Oh, you want a waiter?
Yes.
So I kind of raise my hand and wave down whoever I can see.
You have robes that look like a friend of mine. He's a wizard. Are you a wizard?
Well, I'm actually an alchemist. I do hail from Heraklion.
Oh, okay. Do you know Falzarin?
Why, yes. Do you know Falzarin?
Yes, I do. Well, what's your name?
My goodness, my name's Brendel. There are a few empty flasks, like potion flasks, and some ingredients, it seems, some components that him saying he was an alchemist he may use to concoct some form of potion.
I'm proficient in a poisoner's kit, so do I identify any of them as poison?
So, Falzarin, you're very distracted by Gozer's kind of intent stare. I mean, like, you've seen her stare at things that she may be deciding to kill before. This could be slightly reminiscent of such a stare. This abyssal slime that's oozing out of the deceased man is, like, almost with a life of its own, pouring into this body of water and kind of culminating in the center of this pool. And your vision, the scry spell ends, and that's what you see. Now drink it all up, and we can continue the adventure.
I'm sort of shocked, first off, that Danzig's alive, and what I just saw. And I think for a few minutes, I don't feel like going to the brothel now. So I think I'm going to head back to the Leopard and go back and have myself an ale.
Kind of shortly into you guys sitting down and regaling Brendel of your stories, like Shaft comes walking back into the Asinine Leopard. And Shaft, you see the party sitting at a table with someone that you do not know, a stranger to you. He's in very similarly robed to Falzarin, and he's kind of got this burlap sack kind of slung over the back of his chair, and he looks youngish, about around the same age as Falzarin.
Okay. So I walk over and sort of eye him a minute and sort of look over at Falzarin like, hey, who's the squishy?
Shaft, this is Brendel. Brendel, this is Shaft.
Yeah, well met, my friend.
A pleasure.
And you are...
The squishy, what does Brendel look like?
It looks like Falzarin.
He's a tall, skinny guy?
Don't mind him, Brendel.
I was hoping
Leland
would
He tends to underestimate the versatility of us folk.
Oh, take no offense. I'm sorry. I shake his hand. Or put my hand out
Sure,
to shake.
and he shakes.
So Shaft, Brendel's a very good friend of mine that I've known for years. We both, as you know, I'm from Heraklion, and as he is as well.
Oh.
Well, so you say, Falzarin.
What brings you over here?
Well, unfortunately, a tragedy back home that I was hoping to find Falzarin and convince him to return with me for the memorial.
Oh, my. Someone close to you two passed away?
Yes, a mutual friend of ours.
I hope it wasn't, was it expected, or?
It was very unexpected. Came much too quickly for anyone to really do anything about, unfortunately.
Not to pry, but an illness, or did he get in a brawl?
Though it was some form of illness that just overtook him in a matter of days.
Oh, this seems like something you'd want to avoid, Falzarin. I mean, you can pay your respects here, right? There would be no reason to go back and potentially catch this illness. Besides, we have things to do, right?
Brendel and I are I've got a room that I was planning on sharing with Brendel, and we were going to chat about some of the things that have transpired and chat a bit more about this tragic passing of our friend Memnar here. I was hoping to do it in private.
I completely understand. I mean, I feel bad for you, but you can't. There's no time to go back to Heracleon right now, right?
I believe you mean Heracleon.
Oh yeah, Heracleon, yeah.
Yeah, I suppose close enough.
Right. I mean, no offense to you, my friend, but Falzern and we here, we've been together for what might be considered a short period of time, but we have experienced a lot of things together, and we do have quite a few things that we need to accomplish here, and a trip back home would probably
I feel like
not
these
be a
things
guess.
are things that were your idea, Falzern.
That's very true, Shaft, and I'm hoping to not. Basically, I don't want to pile a bunch of things onto Brendel here in a confusing order. I plan on letting him in on kind of everything and catching him up to speed, but I was hoping to do it in private where there's not so many prying ears around.
No, you guys go talk. That's perfectly fine with me, but just between you and I also have been enlightened on a few items, and we do have potential of making a large amount of money and potentially helping you with some of the things that you're interested in. And
Where's this information coming from, Shaft?
once again, I probably don't want to share it right here, and unless your friend here would be happy to join us on a short adventure.
Well, I would like to speak with Falzern in private before I make any decisions as grand as that, but the invitation is much appreciated.
Maybe we could all meet about your job, Shaft, in private, and then we'll leave the room and let them have the room.
No, I think you guys go ahead and have your talk, and we'll talk later on this evening. I mean, I'm going to get a beer and something to eat, and
The night is young.
yeah.
If you give me some time to catch up with Brendel here, we can meet up again a bit before we turn in for the night.
Absolutely. And I go over and order some of the delicious meats that I've been hearing so much about, and an ale, and then I'm going to check out the whatever the wait staff looks like. Any attractive young, shorter statured women?
Why, you do see a gnome waitress, actually.
All right.
Is it obvious that he's checking her out?
I don't know. How obvious are you being, Shaft?
I'm being really obvious.
He's giving her the
I
shaft.
look over at Gozer, I'm like, didn't he just come from the brothel?
Eh,
Perhaps he didn't come
don't care.
from the brothel. I might edit that one out.
That was...
Never underestimate the power of Shaft.
Round 2.
Shaft's at the bar, Gozer and I are at the table. You guys went up to your room. Are you going to have to role play out the room, or what are you...
Yes, I will take Bill off mic to speak with Brendel. My Falzern, quite the company that you've started to keep.
Yes. I mean, try not to pass any hasty judgments on me. More just company out of convenient circumstances. They do grow on you, but I can see how it looks from your perspective.
No judgment for me. I do have a confession, on the other hand, though. While Memnar is quite dead, I certainly do not care about it. I didn't want to divulge too much to your friends, strangers to myself, of course, but I came seeking you for other reasons.
Oh, really?
Well, it has come to the attention of some of the more elderly scholars that there is treachery afoot on the mainland, as they put it. You know how I have a flourish for the dramatics.
That sounds like them.
I've been tasked with finding you, in hopes that we can contact somebody from your past.
Okay.
I told them that as far as I know, you have not seen Karos in quite some time. But I hope you have some means of contacting him, or...
I mean, the best I can think is that, I mean, as you know, I'm able to spend a lot more time underwater than the average human, or half-elf, as it may be, or any other race. My best guess would be to head back to where I last saw him, and I know that they have a community in the depths of the sea there. Perhaps I could find them again. What else is going on? Why do they want me to get in touch with him?
The details are scarce, unfortunately, but we've learned that the Tritons, Karos and his fellow Tritons, their mere presence on the material plane is they're here to protect from some type of evil that is swiftly approaching.
Right.
The scholars, they feel they may have information that could aid the Tritons in their attempts at battling whatever may be on the horizon.
Okay. So the elders haven't told you much more information about what they might.
They simply told me they seek an audience with him.
Okay. Well, Brendel, we're quite close. I trust you perhaps more than anyone else I know. And I'll be frank, a lot has happened since I've seen you last.
Yes, I hesitant to comment, but I do notice a change about you.
Yes, you always were sharp and observant. This Isabella Good that you met, there's much more to her than meets the eye. Long story short, she abducted me while I was traveling with this other group of people that you just met, and brought me into a situation where I had not much other choice than to offer to join up with her and either that or forfeit my life, essentially. She offered me some things that made it not a bad deal, but it came with strings attached. She's given me some access to magic that I've never been able to use before, which, as you can imagine, interests me a lot. But she has somewhat of an errand that I need to do for her. Otherwise, well, I shudder to think what the consequences would be. She's not this friendly-looking, stout little lady that she appears. She's an archfey, an ancient archfey that appears to be extremely powerful.
Oh, Falzarin.
I know.
And he kind of puts a hand to his forehead. You've entered into a pact with an archfey.
Well, it wasn't exactly something I wanted to do, but she had me in a position where I was going to die. I was quite sure if I didn't agree to her terms.
Oh, I do not doubt that. As my father always said, ask a question of one when they cannot give an answer, but the one that they seek.
Well, that's the situation I'm in now, Brendel. She has already given me some new magic and has promised me some other things as well in exchange for fealty and at least one errand that I know of. She wants to have me go up north to Pisces and have basically kick her sister out of this group, this pact that she's in. Apparently, four is a crowd.
Of course, an arbitrary rule that one must abide by.
Yes. So, that's what you've missed.
And your companions are aware of this?
More or less. I've shared the high points with them. They seem to be interested in promises of power and riches, which may or may not be on the horizon with this pact that I've formed if I hold up my end of the bargain, but that's what I've told them.
I see.
We plan to head out to Pisces tomorrow to meet this Erica, as she goes by, who is also an archfey as far as I'm aware, and apparently is associating with this Danzig fellow. He's a halfling.
I see. Well, I will certainly accompany you on your journey. Perhaps I may be of some use.
That would be excellent, because I'll be honest with you, I'm a bit worried.
As am I. How could you not be? This is quite the pickle you found yourself in. I mean, between a rock and a hard place.
Yes, exactly. Been a rock in a good place. Do you think there's any possibility that these Archfey could be what the Tritons are here for? Or would it be something else? I know the Paladins of Kultus seem to be a force that isn't doing any good.
It seems there is much treachery on the mainland. This is what I told you. Staying in Heraklion, you would have been safe. I'm afraid to play the "I told you so" card, but I did tell you.
I'm inclined to wish that I had have heeded your advice. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know, Brendel. I wonder if this Isabella Good, as she goes by, she seemed to make it seem like she might be willing to help out, ridding Aspara of these Paladins of Kultus, and if that's a possibility, as much as I was forced into this, I think it's worth pursuing that lead.
And is this Isabella the lesser of two evils?
Well,
is she truly?
She may be. I don't know, really. I don't know much about her. She's very mysterious.
Well, if this group of Archfays is the evil in which the scholars have information of, then surely seeking the Tritons should be at the top of our priority list.
You're right. How do I convince this party I'm adventuring with that we need to... It was a hard sell to convince them to take a detour up to Pisces to deal with this Erica.
So many years ago, you plunged into the water on the shoreline near Pisces, did you not? I mean, is that where you first encountered Karos? Perhaps from the shore we may be able to find some type of vessel to travel the depths and
That's an excellent point. It's sort of on the way.
And perhaps we do not need to divulge all of that to them, as if we are already, or you as a party are already bound northward, then
that's true.
Two birds with one stone, as they say.
Yes, and they haven't really been all that forthright with sharing their background, and I haven't divulged all of my background to them as well. So I don't think it's a bad idea to keep some cards in my hand.
I agree. I must say, upon first impressions, the elven woman, she seems slow to trust, but there must be something said that they did go after you after your abduction.
I agree. I think on the surface they're a bit rough, but I believe they have some redeeming qualities.
And I hope to see those qualities as well, and I hope that they will agree with me traveling with the five of you.
I can't see why they would have an objection.
Excellent.
So it's a plan. Let's do that.
Okay, shall we join them once again?
Absolutely.
So what we are now going to do is we are going to only kick Falzarin off the mic, while you, the rest of you down in the tavern, will be having your simultaneous conversation as Falzarin and Brendel have gone to his room. So back down to the tavern with the rest of the party.
Okay. I've been eating and sort of talking to my waitress, giving her a wink and a glance here and there.
Giving her a hard time.
Okay.
Yeah, just trying to get to know her a little better.
I noticed all this flirting, Shaft. Did you not get
Oh,
enough?
whoa, hell, did you come over to my table? I didn't even
I
see
thought
it.
you came and sat. Wait, hold on. I thought you were coming and sitting by us, or no?
Oh,
you
hell
got
no,
your
I
food
can't.
at the bar and you went somewhere else?
I can't do my business with you two sitting around. Whew.
Well, I mean, didn't you
Oh,
just
scared the crap out of me.
Didn't you just come from the grungy goblin?
Yeah, I did.
Then
Well,
why do you need
sorta.
more business?
Sorta I did. I went to the grungy... Wait. I'm sorry, miss. I have to go talk to my friends over here. I'll be back in just a minute.
You better bet he'll be back. All right.
I'll be waiting.
She's not. She's a little jealous. I mean, I didn't really talk to her too much here tomorrow, but I'll be back. So I walk over and sit down. I go, yeah, I went to the gooey goblin, and
did you not get gooey enough or what?
didn't like the look.
Goblin's not gooey.
Yeah, stuff not gooey.
Not gooey. Gozer make stuff gooey.
No thanks.
With axe.
So, this is not going well.
So, Shaft, what's going on?
Yeah, so I went there and then didn't really like the appeal of the place. So I heard of another place, a little bit higher class joint. You know, that's really what I prefer.
Of course.
And long story short, I met a guy named Frederick Boddington.
Frederick Boddington.
Yeah, sort of a high class dude. And he tells me that there's big money in going up and finding out why this river has been dammed up.
The job board didn't say it was that much money.
I think there's a lot more to it than this job board. There might be some stuff, magical items and treasure up where we're headed if we go and take this. Might be something that might be good for us as far as getting some things like maybe even cubes.
Okay, I'm intrigued, but didn't they go to solve the river thing going the opposite direction? We want to go north?
Yeah, that's why it's going to take a little bit of convincing to get Falzarin to go with us. But I think
So we
he
have
can
to
do
go
it.
south.
We have to follow the river.
Who knows if he'll even come? He might go back to Heraklion, don't you think?
I mean, we just saved him. We just risked our lives to save him. I think.
Well, he's on contract or something with Isabella. I don't know.
Well, I don't know if that's necessarily where we need to focus right now, right? I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm not particularly comfortable with what Falzarin is his workings and dealings with Isabella.
Oh, for sure.
Wizard paid Gozer.
What's that?
Wizard paid Gozer
He paid you.
to help. Yes.
Oh.
Half now, more later.
To help with what?
Paid me now, some. Pay me more later to help.
For the sister?
Yes.
Yeah, but Gozer, he didn't say how much later, right?
No.
Okay, then later's later. So we can take care of that at a different time.
Okay.
What I think we need to do now is either, if he's going to head back with his buddy, that's one thing, but I think the rest of us have to take advantage of the situation. I mean, this is good insider information, and I don't want other people to...
How much did he say was in this?
It could be, well, he's a rich guy, and he said a lot of money for him.
Okay.
So...
And how did the cubes come up?
Well, I'm saying there's magical items, is basically what he said. There could be
Oh, so you're just
all
hoping.
sorts. Right, exactly. I mean, this seems like this is something that happened recently. It's affecting the city. And then he had some information that he shared with me. I think
What
maybe,
information?
Well, that there could be treasure up here, that something where this river's being dammed up.
Gozer like treasure.
I mean,
Yeah.
I like treasure too. I'm very conflicted right now. There's just too many, like, promises or like, there might be treasure here, might be treasure there. I don't, like, why does no one know for sure?
Here's the thing. If we go up, we know what Isabella is. We just saw it.
And we don't want her on our bad side.
Well, she's already on our bad side. She's only got Falzarin convinced.
And without Falzarin, we're back without a reason. Do you know what I mean? He's our reason for her not to attack us, and we might ditch him?
No, I want him to come with us. But if he decides to go to Heraklion, it doesn't really matter. We're not going to Heraklion.
No, I'm not going to Heraklion.
I really don't see any reason to go up to
Pisces.
Pisces. Because we really don't even know what we're getting ourselves into.
No, yeah, I mean, I'm not super happy about that. There was no guarantees, but if we helped Falzarin, we were sort of keeping Isabella off her back.
Yeah, we also can't go down and finish the job that we got for Detmer, because we don't have the cubes that we need.
River problem to north?
Yeah, Leland, this river runs north to south? Or south to
No,
north?
actually, this river runs more west-east.
Okay, because they were heading south.
No.
The adventurers that we met on the bridge were heading away from us.
They were heading in the opposite direction in which you were traveling.
So they're
Following the
heading
river,
west.
you were traveling east. Yeah, they were heading more westward.
Okay.
But this river does kind of curve northwestwardly into the hilly terrain.
Okay.
We just tell Falsey we go into Pisces, but follow river. And do river thing first, Falsey don't know.
Well, I don't want to be deceptive here. I mean, we need
No?
No. I think the best thing for us to do is be straightforward and
Well-
honest. I think...
What we need
What?
to do is hype up the magical items that you mentioned, right? He's all about finding some magical items.
Yeah,
Especially
exactly.
for a deal if we're just, taking them.
Right.
I hope that he's able to, realize what we've been able to offer him in the last few weeks and he can, grieve his friend without going home. I do hope that. So I'm all for trying to convince him to come with us. And if he doesn't come, we just go?
I mean, as much as it breaks my heart to leave the poor guy, I think, yeah, it's probably the right thing to do.
I mean, I found out more about the guy today than in 2 weeks. He doesn't talk about himself ever.
Right.
I mean, we didn't really care either.
Well, you and I both know if we don't finish the job for Detmer,
Yeah,
it's going to be hell to pay there, too.
our names are on that contract.
We're between a rock and a hard place here, and I think this is at least a good step towards finishing our ultimate goal.
Money and items will help us for sure. Trying to stop this sister that's probably just as powerful as Isabella, I mean.
Well, if Isabella can't take her out, probably even more dangerous.
Yeah, I don't know if he said she couldn't. But
I mean, she might just be trying to make him be the fall guy here.
yeah. I don't know if you understood where I was coming from, Shaft. I was just really tempted by the offer of, Isabella's backing with the paladins and like the power we could have in the area, right? Like, she's pretty strong.
We may not necessarily have to do anything against that,
Yeah.
but I think even if we decide to go up and take out Erica, it's probably not a bad idea to have a little more firepower in our favor.
Did you find anything out about the sledge in the river, or just...
Well, that's part of it. There's something could be relatively dangerous up there, which usually means powerful, which usually means wealthy.
You two talk a lot.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Gozer? You
You
in?
still love us.
Well, whatever.
All right. Well, when those two come back down here to talk to us, let's try to convince him that probably in his best interest. Hey, maybe his buddy can come along. We could use some extra puffy power.
Will be treasure for Gozer?
Yep.
Yeah, Gozer in.
I think there's more likely treasure with this river job than with the sister.
I mean, I don't want to screw around because there's people already going up there to try to find this river thing, and I don't want them to get the treasure and this stuff.
They're not as good as we are.
I guess we need to prove that.
Gozer proof.
Okay. Sounds like we're all in agreement.
All right, sounds good.
I'm going to go finish my meal. And anything else that needs to be finished up.
Uh-huh. You do that.
So Brendel and Falzarin rejoin, or they come down from the rooms and back into the tavern. The tavern.
Do they have
you
a
go.
There you go.
They escape their room and they go to the tavern in a southernward fashion. They go southern on the stairs.
Hey guys, you have a nice talk?
We did, and have I got good news for all of us?
Oh?
We're having a baby.
That's
That was fast.
magic.
Brendel here, who is very helpful when you're in a pinch with his vast knowledge of potions
And poisons. And he gives Bryn a wink.
You know it.
and poisons. He's agreed to come with us on our short trip up north and help us out.
Awesome.
You gonna find problem with river?
Yeah, so he's all on board for venturing with us.
Wait,
That's
what?
good, Shaft.
Problem with River.
Yeah.
I thought we were going up to Pisces.
We are, but we're going to take a short
Eventually.
pit stop over to, I heard, I sort of lean in to both of them. I go to Falzarin, is Brendel trustworthy to keep a secret?
I mean, he's my best friend. I would trust him with anything.
I mean, I've got some insider information here, and we might be able to pick up some magical items that could help us out.
He can be trusted for sure. Where do we need to go?
So this river deal, remember we saw the river and those guys going up
Yeah.
try to solve it? And the black stuff that was in the river,
Right.
apparently there's something of some kind of power. I don't really have the details of it, but
And treasure.
yeah,
Magic and treasure.
potentially some very powerful magical items. And here's what I'm thinking. We head there first, solve the little problem, put a little coin in our pocket from the city here, whatever they're offering, 150 gold or something, chump change. Get ourselves some stuff and maybe some magical items that'll help us go up there to take care of Erica if necessary.
For sure, some magical items.
Well, I hope it's not going to delay us too long, because 150 gold is not going to go very far.
No, I think the 150 gold is just what the job pays, what these other sleps are going up there to try to do, but I have a pretty good feeling they're not equipped for what they're going to meet. And I think our party, especially with your buddy Brendel here...
Goes are strong.
Well, Gozer, of course.
Right, but all that we know of that we're guaranteed is this 150 gold, which...
I'm not even worried about the 150. We could get some magical items to help us.
Well,
Erica's not going to be a pushover.
how do you know that there's going to be magical items?
His insider information.
This is what my contact told me.
Oh?
Yeah.
That's what he...
When did you hear about this?
Well, I took a little short trip to the brothel, as you know, and
Yeah.
what I really did was I ran into this guy named Frederick Boddington,
Oh.
and we had a nice chat, and I just relayed the information to you.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think it's going to be too much of a sidetrack.
Frederick's a trustworthy guy.
He's a very wealthy individual.
And is he the person who's offering these additional rewards for us, or
No,
he just knows
he's
that?
the one who has the information.
No, but I've heard that they've been searching for adventurers and paying them to try to remedy the situation, or at least get information.
Shaft and I are quite worried about our contract with Detmer, and this could really help us, just give us that extra edge when we have to complete our job, because we have to complete our job, or else.
Sure. Just as I need to get up to Pisces.
Who is this Detmer person?
It's a friend of ours from Drakal. We have dealings. He's a good guy.
He does not.
We don't want to let him down.
He does not sound too friendly. Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah, I mean, as you well know, with good friends like Falzarin here, you want to do everything you can do to make sure
Detmer is
whatever
not a good death.
More bad death talk.
Bad
I
death.
see. Well, yes, I quite agree. I do believe in helping my friends when I can, and that is why I have decided to, if you'll have me, stay with you and adventure with you lot and Falzarin. And
Another useless wizard.
I assure you, I'm quite helpful. I can be quite helpful.
No, I think it's great.
Squishy.
I think it's great for somebody for Falzarin to talk to and play with while we're going adventuring. It sounds like a great idea.
Shaft, did you say play with?
No, I said talk to friends.
Didn't you say you're having a baby?
No, I mean what I mean by that. I'm sorry. I know that could have came across wrong. Somebody to talk to about magical things and information of.
I see.
We. I mean, you're not going to talk to us
and
about
whatnot,
that.
Yeah.
I have very limited knowledge of the arcane arts and the other two.
Maybe he's got a scroll or two for you.
But this way, you guys can probably gain some information off each other, teach each other some stuff.
That's a good point. And we've been close friends. It'll be really nice to have him back around.
Yeah, and Brendel, I'd like to hear some stories about his when he was a kid. You know, embarrassing stuff.
Oh, there's none of those. There's none of those, Shaft. Don't worry.
I'll tell you all the embarrassing stuff he's done with us.
Oh, I'd like to hear about when Falzarin was a teenager, for sure. Which you promised me in private.
I can regale you with many a story. Yes, yes.
Oh, Brendel, quit kidding around.
So this river does lead northward, you say, but maybe not quite a direct route to Pisces?
Right. I mean, that's what I saw.
How far do you expect the travel time will be to make it where we need to go and then come back to the city to collect our 150 gold?
Well, I'm not sure how far up the dam or the whatever is holding the water back is, but
if all goes well, we won't need to come back for 150 gold.
Well,
if you know what I'm
that's
saying.
kind of my thought. 150 gold is split between all of us is not
no,
much.
that's what I'm saying.
Gozer, get paid.
150 is irrelevant, really.
Gozer, what I mean is we will get paid in some form or another if this goes according to his intel.
Gozer, get treasure.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we all in agreement?
I mean, if it's somewhat similar direction that we're already going, I'm not opposed to an opportunity to.
Yeah, and I think with Brindle here, we ought to be able to make short work of it.
Sure.
Yes, and I will certainly follow wherever Falzarin decides that it is prudent to travel, and I will be as helpful as I possibly can be.
All right, let's get a good night's sleep and head out in the morning.
Sounds like a plan.
Good night's trans. That's me.
Okay, so Falzarin has a 2-bed room. Shaft has his own room.
Soft is sleeping in that second bed.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Gozer's going to sleep outside Falzarin's door.
I guess Brendel and I
Oh,
are
no.
sharing the single bed.
Oh, I was gonna say it leaves me and Brendel, but you okay. I was like, oh no, is this going where I think it's going?
Just like back at school.
Bunk
The
bed.
experimental days.
Brendel and I don't have rooms. Leland, can you explain to me what Brendel looks like? Let's get a description. We haven't been described what he looks like.
Because that makes a difference on where you're going to sleep.
It might.
I don't think Brendel is really interested in your
It
type.
would be
I
a
hate to-
friendly
hate to break it to you.
sleepover.
He is quite a slight man with
Okay.
kind of dusty brown, shortly cut hair. He's quite average.
He's human.
He is human, yes.
Okay.
But you actually do notice on his left hand he is sporting a ring on his ring finger. And Falzarin knows that Brendel does have a wife.
Totally fine. I just kind of need somewhere to crash for 4 hours.
There's space on the floor in my room, Bryn. I'm not opposed to you laying down a
Thought
blanket.
to share a bed with you, Bryn.
I don't need a bed.
Well, you can meditate over on the floor in my room, but you can't leave in the middle of the night because I'm going to make sure that nothing comes in or out of my room.
Are you booby trapping your room too?
I'm going to make sure that I'm well aware of anything that goes in and out. So if you plan on taking a little walk tonight, I suggest you don't stay in my room.
I think the same can be said for my room as well. There's going to
Booby
be plenty of
I
booby
know.
traps.
I will choose not to stay with Falzarin because of the booby traps and the Gozer at the door. All right, Shaft. I'll meditate on your floor tonight. Thanks for the offer.
Okay. So when I go up to my room, I am going to cast Alarm as a ritual. So anything that comes within a 20-foot cube will ping me in my sleep
Okay.
and wake me up.
Okay, great.
When Bryn sees Shaft casting his ritual,
Well, he's kind of in his own room. You said you weren't going. You are going to Shaft's room.
I'm going to Shaft's room. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Oh, I'm going to tell her. I know a spell.
I know. So I'm gonna watch you do this ritual, and
Yeah.
as I'm watching, I'm remembering your little ritual back at the rocks of Goldham, right? That's where it was.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
say, hey, Chef, this reminds me. What was that? You never really explained what you were doing.
What do you mean?
You know, back when you said you have to do this little ritual every now and then or something.
Yeah, occasionally I don't feel well, and I have a small... I mean, I hate to use the word spell, because it sounds like it's... just like this little alarm spell that I have. It's something I learned.
Feel well? What do you mean? Do you have a disease?
No, not really. I have a condition. And when that condition starts, like you ever have where your stomach hurts a lot, or where you get really bad headaches.
Not where I have to do a ritual.
Oh, well, see, if you would somebody teach you a ritual, you'd be able to deal with it a little bit better. So occasionally it just gets a little overwhelming. So I sit down and I do this little spell, and it makes me feel better. Not unlike this little ritual that I'm doing here, this little alarm spell that allows me to... that's what reminded me. Yeah, it allows me to, somebody comes in the room or moves around like yourself, it'll wake me up, which will come in handy.
So I can't move.
Well, I don't... If you go anywhere over here by the door or by the window here, it's going to wake me up. Yeah, I'll probably be a little concerned, too. So, when you meditate, you don't move, right? No. That's what I've seen.
That's for half the night. But yeah. Alright, that's it. It's just you're not going to tell me what... I don't know. I feel like there was more going on, but whatever.
Yeah, that's about the long and short of it.
Can I do an insight to see if he's lying?
Sure. I should have to roll deception.
18.
17.
So how does she feel about that, Shaft?
I think she probably knows me well enough to know that I'm not going to be forthcoming with all the information, but I'm giving her a relatively
well, it's just me and
good take on the... No, I'm just saying how when you're looking at me, you're sort of getting the idea if I'm telling the truth or not. Mm-hmm. My words are still the same.
Right.
Okay.
And splitting hairs here, Rangers do not have the ritual casting ability, so you actually would need to just burn a spell slot for it.
It does on alarm, right? Oh, no, Rangers don't.
Yeah, because you have to have the ability to ritual cast, even if the spell can be cast as a ritual. So you just need to use a slot, but you do have everything, right? You guys long rested.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, exactly. I have the slot.
Just splitting the hairs there for
that's odd, because I guess they screwed up the card, because this is a Ranger card with that on there.
Well, it may be on the Ranger spell list and be able to cast by using a slot, but not as a ritual, because Rangers cannot perform rituals. Whereas, the wizard in the class features of the wizard, they have the feature of ritual casting, which allows them to perform rituals. And I believe ritual casting is actually a feat that is you could possibly take in the future if needed.
Oh, maybe that's why it's there then. Okay, good to know.
And that's our show. Our intro and outro music was created by Josh Jarvis. For your own musical inquiries, contact jamesmercymusic@gmail.com. All other music and ambient noise is courtesy of tabletopaudio.com. The Incorrigible Party is sponsored by Critical Hit Design. Visit criticalhitdesign.com for all of your graphic design needs. You can find more info on the characters and world at incorrigibleparty.com. Enjoying the show? Have any questions or rules corrections? Email us. contact@incorrigibleparty.com or reach out on social media. The Incorrigible Party on Facebook and Instagram, @IncorrigiblePar on Twitter, using the hashtag AfterPartyIP for a shout-out during our behind-the-screen after-party episodes that drop every 4th release. Happy adventuring!